I'm a mutant. Meeting. Unmuting.
afternoon. We are so great to be with you today, sharing in this midday moments about Holy Week. Today is Holy Thursday, or Mundane Thursday, is what it's often called. And we've been enjoying what God has been doing throughout this week and what He is transpiring in our lives. And one of the main things is that last night we had foot washing. It was most memorable because we're thinking about what Jesus did for us. But traditionally, foot washing would be on Mundane Thursday. Mundane Thursday, it derives from a Latin word, means command. The Mundane Thursday refers to the command that Jesus gave to his disciples at the Last Supper. That was to love and serve one another. In fact, he said it this way: there's a new command I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you, and you also are to love one another. John 13 and verse 34. Monday, Thursday, or Holy Thursday has significant events. Said to be around 6 p.m. When most of these occurred or started occurring on Holy Thursday. There are a number of things that happen. I'm going to give them to you in a listening way, and then I'm presenting you some scripture that you can read along the way in your own personal reading time. It starts with just thinking about that he sent Peter and John to arrange for them to use the upper room to hold the Passover meal. So he arranged them that this could happen. And then he goes into washing the apostles or the disciples' feet. And then he held the world's first Mass or communion service. He instituted the priesthood. He announced that Judas would betray him. He gave the new commandment to love one another. And he indicates that Peter, a special pastoral role among the disciples to lead them. He announced that Peter would deny him during this time. Prayed for unity for his followers. He held a discourse of recorded across the 5 chapters from John 13 to John 18. They sang a hymn. Went up to the Mount Olive, prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, was betrayed by Judas, stopped the disciple from continual valor and resistance. And he heals the ear of one of the servants that came to capture him. He was taken before the priest. He was denied by Peter, and he was taken to Pilate. It was a momentous day on Holy Thursday. The gospel accounts of this will be Matthew 26, 17 through 75, Mark 14, 12 through 72, or Luke, the 22nd chapter, 7 through 62, or John 13, 1 through chapter 18, 27. You will find the listing of all of those I said in very briefly. You'll find the listing of all of those events that happened. But I want to go back to 2 events that happened during this time that I want to expand upon. And that is the institution of Holy Communion, some call it the Eucharist, or the first Mass for some. Jesus was very intentional. He sits down with a group of people that he loved so dearly, a group of people that he trusted, that trusted him. But among this group there is, for the lack of better words, a devil among the group, a betrayer. And Jesus still sits down with them. What is that saying to us? Is that in spite of how we feel about the person around us, maybe people in our churches, people in our circle of influence, that there's still room for the betrayer in the room. Now, notice I didn't say you need to be buddy-buddy, but I said there's room for it. Jesus sat down knowing that he would be betrayed by the very one that kissed and loved him. But yet and still, he still served all of them at the table. That's important for us. In the United Methodist Church, we have open table. That means all are invited to the table of Holy Communion. And I want to encourage you that although we may not have people that we feel betrayed by at our personal tables at home, I want to suggest to us that sometime in the corporate or worship that we ought to put aside our differences and eat with Jesus at Holy Communion. If Jesus can do it in his day, one of the most momentous things that ever happened in the history of Jesus' day, instituted the Holy Communion, and then dying on the cross and resurrection Sunday morning. So those couple things I want you to keep in mind. And the other piece is about the humility Jesus showed with the washing of the disciples' feet. He took what was a servant's job. He took what was sometimes a slave job, and he did just what the lowest of them would do, and that's wash the feet of those who are around you. And I want to encourage you that if you, no matter how much education you have, no matter how much prestige you believe to have, that you will in this moment humble yourself under the authority of Jesus Christ and know that we are servant leaders of Christ if we've been born again, if we have submitted to Christ's rule in our life. So I'm excited about the rest of this week. On tonight we'll have a Seder meal, which will be broadcast on Zoom and also YouTube, and we will share it to Facebook. But you're welcome to join the Zoom to be live with us there as we share this meal that ancient rulers, ancient people, and also a part of what Jesus would have done in his day, in his time. So we thank God for you. We love you. Our prayer is that God will continue to enrich your life and that you will know that the meaning of this Holy Week, not just a week of festivities, but a week of commemorating what Jesus did for us. So as we move into Seder meal tonight, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we'll be carrying the cross in downtown Biloxi. And we invite you to St. Paul, the St. Paul parking lot. Get there about 15 minutes early so we can get you signed in, make sure that everybody has an opportunity to carry the cross, and make sure that you have an opportunity to get set and ready for the walk that we will have on Friday. And then we will end up back at the church. There will be a Good Friday service where we'll be talking about what Jesus' last sayings were. And that's going to be a good momentous time. And so we ask you to come, you're invited with us. Those who just can't be with us in person, then you can join us via all our social sites. You're able to do that. So we're thankful for you. We will end Good Friday with a service at Good Friday at Mount Pleasant in Gulfport, where Pastor D and I will do tag team preaching on Good Friday night. Amen. So we look forward to seeing you, and we'll talk more about what's happening on Holy Saturday on tomorrow as we conclude our services on tomorrow. So we thank you. We love you. Our prayer is always that you stay with God. Keep the faith.